Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Dear Venerable Sangha Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to join us in this quickly Buddhist Newsreel on PSO TV channel. Hereafter, for major headlines of the Buddhist activities of the week. Ho Chi Minh City, Mongolian Buddhist delegation pays courtesy visit to Most Venerable Sangha Chairman. Điện Biên, Provincial Committee Secretary Trần Quốc Cường visits Linh Quang Pagoda with incense offering ritual. Outstanding Buddhist architectural heritage values through survey conducted by Cultural Section of Sangha in provinces of Thái Bình and Nam Định. Digest of social charity activities of Buddhists during the week. The following are the news in details. On the occasion of the Dharma propagation tour in Vietnam, on the morning of December 18, 2022, the Mongolian Buddhist Sangha, led by His Eminence Naro Pachen Rinpoche, senior member Gaiden Teaching Mongolia, airport of Nepropol Buddhist University, came to Minh Đạo Pagoda to visit and greet the chairman of the Administrative Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable TIểòng NGAY.
Among the attendees accompanying the Mongolian Buddhist Sangha were Mongolian Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to Vietnam, the Mongolian Consul General in Ho Chi Minh City, and the monks from Garden Tekchaling, Mongolia, and the Naropa Buddhist University. At the cordial meeting, His Eminence Naro Pachen Rinpoche wished good health to the most venerables of the Central Committee of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, and monks of Minh Đạo Pagoda. He expressed his honor to meet the most venerable chairman, the senior leader of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. On behalf of the Mongolian Buddhist Sangha, His Holiness wished that the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha Central Committee would create conditions for Mongolian monks and nuns and Buddhists to have the opportunity to access cultural and artistic heritages, as well as exchange and learn about education and rituals of Vietnamese Buddhist festivals. Accordingly, it is to promote the friendship between the two peoples and a consolidated linkage of Vietnam-Mongolia Buddhism. Warmly receiving the delegation, the most venerable affirmed that Vietnamese Buddhism and Mongolian Buddhism are different in terms of language, culture, and rituals, but what they have in common is the worshipping the same Buddha and Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara. Therefore, the Venerable Master said that this visit of Mongolian Buddhist Sangha is to show a special affection for the Vietnamese Buddhist Sangha. On this occasion, the Most Venerable informed about the achievements of Vietnamese Buddhism in terms of education. Currently, Vietnam has 4 Buddhist institutes where thousands of monks and nuns were trained. Regarding international relations, every year, the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha welcomes many Buddhist delegations from various countries to visit and communicate about Buddhism, including Mongolian Buddhists who had visited the Central Board of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha many times and warmly welcomed. At the suggestion of the delegation leader, the Most Venerable Chairman of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha promised to steer the relevant Sangha sections to enthusiastically support the Mongolian Buddhist would-be teams to visit and work in Vietnam. It is to promote diplomacy between the two countries' Buddhism in the fields of culture, education, rituals, and preaching. Thereby, the Vietnamese monks, nuns, and Buddhists could understand more about Mongolian Buddhism, especially Tantric and Vajrayana sect.
On the afternoon of December 21st, 2022, member of the Party Central Committee Secretary of the Điện Biên Provincial Party Committee visited, offered incense and planted memorial tree at Linh Quang Pagoda, the headquarters of the Điện Biên Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board.
On the side of the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board, there were Venerable TIểòng, Vice Chairman, General Secretary of the Administrative Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, member of the 15th National Assembly of Điện Biên Province, head of the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board, Venerable TIliwong Thanh, Vice of the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board, Head of the Provincial Dharma Enactment Section. At the visit, amid the ritual of incense offering and tree planting, Mr. Trần Quốc Cường congratulated the 9th National Buddhist Congress of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha on a great success. He recognized the contributions of Buddhism in Điện Biên province over the years and hope in the near future, especially when the Lunar New Year is approaching, the province could take care of the material and spiritual life of the disadvantaged people among the difficult situations in the province. Venerable TIliwong thanked Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee Trần Quốc Cường for visiting, offering incense and planting memento tree at Linh Quang Pagoda.
Continuing the journey of visiting, surveying, and researching the values of Buddhist architectural heritage in the northern provinces, on December 21, 2022, the survey team of the Central Board of Culture section of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha arrived in Thái Bình province and then Nam Định province.
The survey team held a seminar on Vietnamese Buddhist architecture at the Cao Pagoda, Duy Commune, Vũ Thư District, Thái Bình Province. Cao Pagoda is the largest and most diverse architectural complex of all Buddhist architecture in the northern delta. It represents a vivid picture illustrating the cultural history of our country from the 17th century up to the 20th century. At the same time, it's the converging place between Chinese architecture and Vietnamese architecture. Next, the delegation spent a considerable time to survey and meticulously studies the unique features of Cao Pagoda. The Reverend honorifics and experts perceived the traditional characteristics of Vietnamese Buddhist architecture at Cao Pagoda. The survey team hopes to continue to receive the concern and help of departments, experts, and researchers in the work of preserving, conserving, and promoting the architectural values of Cao Pagoda. In Nam Định Province, the team has surveyed Trúc Lâm Thiên Trường Buddhist Center, Đại Bi Pagoda, Cổ Lễ Pagoda, and Phổ Minh Pagoda. Trúc Lâm Thiên Trường Buddhist Center was built in 2006 on an area of 34,000 square meters. In front of the great statue of Shakyamuni Buddha is a bronze statue of Amitabha Buddha, weighing 17 tons. The bell tower is a majestic building with an area of 4,840 square meters. The Buddha Hall is decorated in dignified style, highlighting the Trilokya Shrine, Buddha statue, the Amitabha statue, the Sakyamuni statue, and the Night Dragon Court. At Đại Bi Pagoda, Nam Trực District, Nam Định Province, the survey team studied the unique architectural heritage values of the pagoda. The gate of the temple is not in the middle, but is built to the east. Although it has undergone many restorations to date, in the Three Chùa shrine still remains many carvings of the later Lê dynasty, 17th to 18th centuries. Đại Bi Pagoda has 60 compartments, mostly made of ironwood. The entire monument is well balanced and well organized. From the outside looking in, the pagoda seems to be gradually enhanced in architecture and as if it was spread out, massive along the main axis with expandable space. With 2 rows of lower and rustic corridors, it enhances the antique beauty of the pagoda. The survey team continued to Cổ Lễ Pagoda for survey and research. Cổ Lễ Pagoda was built in the 12th century of Lý Thần Tong's reign on a square ground nearly 10 acres in size in the north with charming landscape surrounded by the small river and a lake. This sacred pagoda is not only for worshipping Buddha, but also for commemorating his holy ancestor Nguyễn Minh Không, who had great merit in building the pagoda. In 1902, Most Venerable Phạm Quang Tuyên called on his followers and cross-sections to rebuild the pagoda. Later, the Most Venerable reconstructed the whole building into architectural clusters with separated artistic values, but still integrated with the overall landscape, bringing Zen style on the national culture of ancient Eastern architecture combined with Western Gothic architecture. Finally, the survey team went to Phổ Minh Pagoda in Nam Định province. Phổ Minh Tower Pagoda retained many artistic vestiges of the Trần dynasty. The main architectural cluster of the pagoda includes 9 front halls, 3 incense burning compartments, and the upper hall composes of 3 wider rooms. The set of doors in the middle of the front house includes 4 wings of ironwood, big and thick, carved with dragons, water waves, flowers, and geometric patterns. The 2 wing doors in the middle are carved with 2 large dragons adoring the sun in the shape of a body leaf, which is considered a pretty perfect sculpture. The pair of stone crocodiles on the 3 door steps and the dragons on the steps retains the imprints of the Trần dynasty's carvings.
Next is the general information on Buddhist charity activities during the week.
In Nam Giang District, Quảng Nam Province, on the morning of December 13th, 2022, Venerable Thích Pháp Lạc, Abbot of Hưng Phước Pagoda, coordinated with the charity group on every thoroughfare, led by Most Venerable Thích Định Minh, Abbot of the Hồng Đức Pagoda, Venerable Thích Minh Nhất, Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu, and monks and nuns, Buddhists, crossed 150 kilometers of mountain passes to meet disadvantaged people in Nam Giang District. The charity team gave more than 400 gifts of necessities and cash to support the disadvantaged peoples of the 3 communes, respectively mingled with joy and gratitude. The traditional baskets of the Highland people were heavily loaded with the gratitude gifts of the Buddhists from afar. Previously in TIểng Giang Province, on December 11th, 2022, Venerable Thích Huệ Phương, Abbot of Khánh Long Pagoda in Cai Lậy Town, along with local authorities and sponsors, organized the handing over of an almshouse to the family of Miss Nguyễn Thị Hiền at Long Phước Hamlet, Mỹ Phước Tây Commune, Cai Lậy Town, TIểng Giang Province. Miss Nguyễn Thị Hiền is from a poor household with housing difficulties and she lives all by herself. With the encouragement of the local government, Venerable Thích Huệ Phương called on benefactors to join hands to sponsor, and the support of Venerable Thích Nhuận Bình, Abbot of Lâm Tỳ Ni Pagoda from Boston, the United States, and the Buddhists who donated 70 million Vietnam dong to build the almshouse with residential area of 60 meters square. Miss Nguyễn Thị Hiền was also supported by many sponsors with many gifts to facilitate her daily life. On this occasion, the charity team also personally gave gifts to support 100 elderly people and children at Kim Phước Shelter belonging to Kim Phước Pagoda with a budget of 30 million Vietnam dong. On the morning of December 18th, 2022, Most Venerable Thích Trí Minh, Abbot of Phước Tường Pagoda, Trà Vinh Province, cooperated with local authority and sponsors to prepare 230 gifts to support disadvantaged people and poor students in Phong Phú Commune, Cầu Kè District, Trà Vinh Province. The delegation distributed 200 essential gifts to the disadvantaged people and 30 gift portions to the poor students. The total cost of these gifts is more than 80 million Vietnam dong, raised by Most Venerable Thích Trí Minh with contribution from the volunteer group in District 11 and the benefactors. In Long Mỹ Town, Hậu Giang Province, on the afternoon of December 18th, 2022, Venerable Thích Đạo Như, Abbot of Trúc Lâm Zen Monastery in Hậu Giang, together with the venerable monks, nuns, and benefactors, passed over 500 gifts to local disadvantaged people. Gifts of necessity and cash are worth of over 150 million Vietnam dong. These meaningful gifts show the compassionate spirit of the Buddha. It is a contribution to helping people reduce their difficulties, encouraging them to have more strength to strive for a happy and prosperous life. The 2023 Lunar New Year is approaching. Following the spirit of assertion issued by SANGHA on giving TED gifts to disadvantaged people, the monks and nuns from monasteries in Bạc Liêu province shared hundreds of meaningful TED gifts to the disadvantaged people and people with disabilities in the province.
Venerable monks and nuns, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, the last news has signed off this quickly newsreel. Thank you for your attention and following. Goodbye and see you in the next program on PSO TV channel. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha.